Okay, so I think it is going.
So it's uploading to
Yeah, I think it's live now. So, or give or take, however long the transition is. Well, yeah, thank you. It is crazy sometimes. Aloha. It's on.
Oh dear.
Smile. I'm gonna go up the hill so I can kind of coast downhill a little to get started. Welcome back. So we're in the junior 4s. This is Heat 2. Gainesville does not have any boats, but we'll be racing probably some of these boats in another race at some point. Our boys will be racing in the next heat. Oh, false start. One of those little false starts. People excited, so they're going to reset and start them again. Meantime, our boys are sitting back there in the white boat on the right, furthest back, getting ready to go. Here's Heat 2 about to start. They're off that same boat, kind of almost jumped the gun, but they are off safely. And Gainesville will be coming to the line in the next minute or two and racing in the next heat. So they are off, and looks like they're past the 100-meter mark. So any problems, you're just out of luck. So we are waiting on Heat 3 to line up. Gainesville on the right. they start coming to the line with 5 minutes till the start of the race. These guys will be racing for a top 2 position to try to get straight to the A final tomorrow without having to go to any repechages. Or it might be a semifinal actually for these guys. So it might be straight to semifinal, and if they aren't top 2, then they go to repechage where they have to get a top 3 sometime late afternoon today. The good news is the strong headwind that really picked up right before lunch seems to have quieted some, and it seems back to the conditions it was more in the morning. So
Yeah, could be.
that should be an advantage for all these teams who are looking not to take quite as long to get down the course into a really stiff headwind. So we've got 5 people, 4 rowers and a cox, and the guys in the Gainesville boat, trying to see what order they're in. But it looks like Zach is stroking the boat. He's a junior, I believe. And then behind Zach, it looks like Adam, followed by Joseph in the white hat, and then Felipe, a middle schooler, who just came up to help the high school team fill its boats and let everybody get on the water. And at Cox, I'm having trouble figuring out who that is. I thought it was supposed to be Madison, but it doesn't look like Madison. It might be Brett. So Brett's grandpa cheering on guard. I don't know if you heard him. So it does look like Brett as the cox. And they're backing in. They got it very nicely. Line up in lane 0. Not sure why they're using lane 0 when they've got those 3 empty lanes towards the end. Maybe just with the wind. Hard to say. So they're saying 2 minutes to the start. So their 2 minutes can last anywhere from about 30 seconds to 5 minutes, depending on their moods. Trying to encourage all the boats to keep their point, because it is kind of a cross headwind coming from the far side. And while it isn't the strongest wind we've had today, it's still strong enough to put a spanner in the works when trying to keep the boat straight. So this is the final qualifying heat for Gainesville's team. After this, it will be the repechages, and we do have, I believe, 3 repechages so far. And depending on the result of this, 3 or 4. And hopefully these guys will get a top 2 and won't have to compete for a spot in the semifinals kind of late afternoon, just before 5 p.m. or since we're a little behind schedule, probably a little after 5 p.m. because everybody is getting eager to eat dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, where they can replace a few calories that they burned today, and the parents can lose some cash and gain calories we don't necessarily need. So best of luck Gainesville with Zach, Adam, Joseph, Felipe, and Brett as Cox. In the lane closest to us, we've got Tampa Prep next to them, Tampa Catholic. Not sure who the fourth boat is. And Boone is on the far end, and then the red boat might be Edgewater or Lake Brantley. It's hard to tell from the side. You know who the black boat is? The fourth one? Well, maybe it's blue. Oh, yeah, they did change lane orders. So Boone's in the middle? Okay, but what's the red closer, and then the one Tampa Prep is right next to us?
Right, lane 4.
Yeah.
It says 4 on their boundary.
Yeah, and lane 2 is Tampa Catholic, then who's that next one? Maybe a 5?
Manatee.
Oh, Manatee County, yes. The black with the yellow stripes. Then Edgewater and Boone on the far side.
They've gotten them all out of order, I guess.
Probably changed it for the wind. Gainesville off to a slightly slow start, but picking up speed quickly. And we are going to get started down the course. See y'all later. Going straight through to the semifinals tomorrow morning. And everyone else going to the repechage. The nice thing about this race is Gainesville is down here in lane 0, so we can get a real good look at them as they row. They've been working hard the last 2 weeks in this lineup to get everybody integrated and working together. Really start to feel it at this point, and you can tell that's impacting Gainesville because we tend to have smaller guys than a lot of the teams. So, currently trailing in the race, but the important thing is that they get the experience of a race under their belts, so even if they have to go to the repechage this afternoon, they'll have the feel of the race course and the feel of the boat and rowing with each other under these conditions. Gainesville definitely beginning to set in this headwind. And as they try to lift the pace coming into the halfway mark. These are a lot of the newer rowers with the high school team. Of course, not including Felipe, who is coming to the boat from the middle school. But Zach, Joseph, and Adam have really only been rowing about a year. And so they're putting in a good performance in this race, considering they've only had about 2 weeks to work on this boat and get it organized, and that this is their first sweeping state championship. So these are guys that next year and in coming years, GAR will be looking to really gain experience and raise their fitness and technique and compete in categories like this, which is actually a quite difficult category. The junior races are always some of the most highly contested. There were 3 full heats in this race, so probably somewhere on the order of 18 to 20 boats. And these are a lot of the rowers that are juniors in high school, and so they aren't necessarily racing on the varsity boats, but they're very strong rowers. You may remember from Sculling States 2 weeks ago when GAR's junior quad of very experienced rowers ended up 4th out of 24 boats. And in races where there are 20 boats or so, it is very hard especially in races that are of the caliber of junior category, which tends not to be the lightweights, which I think every one of these guys in the GAR boat would qualify. And so they're competing against guys that outweigh them by, 50 pounds a person in many of these boats, and boats that have much older, more experienced rowers in them. Right now, other than our Cox, who's in his 2nd year of rowing, we have Zach, who's in 11th grade, and so a junior, but only in his 1st year of rowing, and then Adam and Joseph, who are freshmen, and then Felipe, who is still in middle school. So watch for these guys, both in the repechage this afternoon and in years to come, as they mature and build experience, strength and fitness and technique for the future of GAR's high school team. So we will end it here. We'll have repechages races coming up this afternoon. I don't have the time schedule on me. I think one is coming up fairly soon though. You got the list.